Good morning, Malta and Gozo, and welcome to another edition of Lovin Daily. I'm Chris Peragine with my co-host Paula Kauki. And just before we go to the headlines, I just want to let you know about the competition we've got going on today. Lovin Daily is brought to you by the Corinthia Palace Hotel, and we're giving away dinner for two at the Rickshaw restaurant, an amazing Oriental restaurant. All you need to do is tag the person you'd like to take with you in the comments below. So these are the headlines. Malta's Got Talent will replace X Factor this year. The Nationalist Party's parliamentary group will be deciding Adrian Delia's fate this evening. There are conflicting views on whether murder suspect Yorgen Fenech should get a presidential pardon or some sort of plea bargaining. Yesterday, a family spoke out after the grandparents of this family fell victim to an aggressor in Hamrun. We'll talk a bit about what happened over there. And Maltese REVELLERS got a police warning after taking a dip in TRITON fountain. We also have a special interview happening after the program, at the end of the program, so stay tuned. It's going to be a long one, but it's going to be interesting. Paula, take us through the first story.
Mela, daw kollha li kienu nkwetati ma jfux ħajamlu ħadd flaxija fix-xitwa mill-producers ta' X Factor ma ħallewniex b'xejn, fil-fatt ħajkunu qegħdin jeqilbu l-produzzjoni tagħhom fuq kompetizzjoni internazzjonali oħra li kulħadd sema biha, Malta's Got Talent. Jiġifieri għalissa forsi daqshekk kantu naraw iktar sfin, naraw min jgħid iċ-ċajt, naraw min għandu kelb vera ħelu li jobdi. Kollha jikkompetu biex jerbħu 25,000 euro. Interessanti il-qalba, naħseb nieħdu pjaċibna differenza u naħseb anke l-fatt li talent kollu tal-kant f'Malta ta' dawk għandhom iktar minn 16 sena ġie eżawrit fi 3 snin ta' X Factor.
Għandek xi talent speċjali?
Jiena nuħu ras in-nies, dak nafx talent.
We'll move on to the next story. The Nationalist Party will be meeting again tonight. It's the second time in 3 days that the parliamentary group is meeting to discuss Adrian Delia. It's also probably the 100th time the Nationalist Party has discussed whether or not to move on from Adrian Delia's leadership. But we'll see what happens today. As we know, Adrian Delia is facing a number of issues besides very poor electoral performance at the polls. There's also the issue of a magisterial inquiry into whether he took a bribe from Yorgen Fenech to make sure that David Casa does not get elected. And there's also the WhatsApp messages that were revealed yesterday between him and that were revealed on Sunday between him and Yorgen Fenech.
So taħseb li tiddiskutu miegħu jew fil-kamra ta' ma' ġem fejn jorqod fuq is-sofan.
That's hard.
Jiena vera nitħassru, jiena vera nissimpatizza miegħu nitħassru għax dar raġel kif qed inti minn mindu laħaq kellna xi 100 laqgħa ta' xi vot ta' sfiduċja u xi ħaġa. U kull darba da kif jistgħmel policy u jippjana jekk kull 3 ijiem 4 ġimgħa jaf li right hand man tiegħu jew il-pija ta' grupp parlamentari jrid qaċċat lu rasu. Ġifieri miskinu. They never gave him a chance. Sekk it-tesserat iridu jivvotawlu tela emmu. Ejnuh isir aħjar mhux inkollu tkissruhu.
I think it's important though to start taking these allegations a bit seriously in terms of the Yorgen Fenech relationship, because ultimately I think there was a big breach of trust there, because Adrian Delia had given the impression that he had barely ever met Yorgen Fenech and he was never really transparent about his actual relationship with him. The messages show quite a lot of closeness, I would say, and even inside jokes, But I think, it's about time now that things are happening on the government side in terms of a lot of changes happening, a lot of new blood, a lot of difficult decisions being taken. I think the Nationalist Party needs to look at itself and see whether it's going to have some sort of renewal.
Imma jekk kulħadd irid iżomm high standards fil-PNM nies li jattakkaw il-Adrian Delia li għandhom jirreżenjaw fuq x'għamlu fil-passat. Imma għandna programm twil biex nidħol fiha di. Mela l-istorja li miss tellaċċja magħha fil-fatt dat tat-taħwit mhux tal-PN, taħwit fuq fil-pajjiż kollu beda meta l-istrateġija nazzjonali ta' Yorgen Fenech kienet li jibda jobżoq xi fuq naħa fuq oħra u kemm kien close ta' dak il-leader u ta' dak il-leader. U issa wasal sa ċertu punt illi Esponenti anka ta' Civil Society Network, il-biraħ kena l-markat nisamut fejt jgħid isma' għandna nikkonsidraw nagħtuh pardon jew nagħtuh nofrulu l-possibilità ta' plea bargaining il-Yorgen Fenech biex jobżoq dak kollu li jaf jew le. U Civil Society Network qablu miegħu, però strangely enough ħareġ Matthew Caruana Galizia fejt jgħid le ma naqbilx ma dan ir-raġunament dan il-blieda m'għandu jieħu dak illi ħaqqu. Naħseb prenatal naqbel ma' Matthew Caruana Galizia, fil-pozizjoni ta'
Yes, look, I used to think that I found the presidential pardon of Melvin Toma to be quite questionable, but I used to think that it made sense to give Yorgen Fenech a presidential pardon instead. However, I think Matthew makes a very interesting point, which is that there's so much information out there in the public domain already that if the police wanted to, they could act on it in regard to so many politicians that have done dubious actions in the past. That we might not need some sort of pardon or plea for Yorgen Fenech, to get to that stage. And even if you get Yorgen Fenech's testimonies, if you have the police who are refusing to act because they're being, they're trying to protect or not go too far with politicians, then you'll end up in the same situation. Having said that, I'm not a lawyer, you are, but we're not necessarily criminal lawyers, so we don't know whether the evidence in the public domain is enough for certain prosecutions.
And whether it's true.
And whether it's true. I think it's going to be an interesting discussion. Obviously, plea bargaining is something that Yorgen Fenech can do at any stage, so we'll see what develops there. Moving on to our fourth story. Yesterday there was a bit of a ruckus in Hamrun. The grandparents of singer Gaia Kauki ended up victims of an aggressor who injured about 3 people. This 70-year-old woman was sort of punched to the ground by this 27-year-old man who is not Maltese, and this sparked a whole discussion about the situation in Hamrun and the situation of immigration and other things. I mean, a really, really sad story, especially for the woman and her husband, this elderly couple who were just minding their own business and ended up hit in the head and injured. Not sure there's much more to say about that.
Xabjat jew is-swed, I mean, staxu, la tweġġa, il-ħadd ma tista' tweġġa sepp wara l-anzjani. Ġifieri, nispera l-pulizija mill-lider identifikawh jekk le nispera jidentifikawh. Naddu għall-aħħar storja minn roundup tal-Lovin Daily, jekk tiftakru sew il-weekend għadda b'dik is-sħana qawwija kien hemm grupp ta' żgħażagħ nimmaġina li barranin li qabżu jommu fil-funtana ta' Tritoni, imma għal daw kollha li qalu x'disrispett mhux sew illegali, nserħulkom raskom il-pulizija tawhom warning biex ma jerġgħux jagħmluha, però nimmaġina li bil-kimiċi probabbli f'dak l-ilma il-warning ma kellhomx bżonnhom mhux ħajrġgħu jazzardaw jidħlu fl-ilma tal-funtana.
I must say, since it's been renovated, it does look very inviting.
Ġifieri nemmen li għandu jkun xi sign li le ma tistax iddaħħal saqajk jew ton fiha bħal funtani forsi oħra.
It's going to ruin it a bit.
Jikbru jitalmu daż-żgħażagħ.
So before, so I just want to remind you first of all about the competition we've got going on with Corinthia, with Rickshaw Restaurant. All you need to do is tag a friend who you want to take with you for dinner for 2. We'll come back soon with an interview with the CEO of Tech.mt to talk all about startups and unicorns. But before we talk about unicorns, we want to show you this video of an emu racing with a young girl in Malta. A really sweet video that came out yesterday. So have a look and we'll move on to the interview next.
Il-winner!
Mela, mana għanna kif għal Chris, se qabel ma jitmal manna, ma tixtieqx li tkun qed issuq u tara dik li muħdik. Mhux vera.
Very, very cute.
Mela, l-intervista ta' Lovin Daily l-lum se tkun ma' CEO ta' Tech.mt Dana Farrugia. Dana, intom il-go-to għal kwalunkwe startup li tinvolvi u bbażata fuq teknoloġija, x'tagħmlulu?
Iva, Pola, Tech.mt ġi stabilita biex tkun il-first port of call għal technology companies meta jkun jridu jistabilixxu ruhom Malta, kemm Maltin kif ukoll barranin. Ġifieri aħna li nagħmlu literalment hand-holding mill-bidu sa meta jirreġistraw il-kumpanija tagħhom u mbagħad ikomplu fl-ekosistema tagħna lokalment.
Dana, one of the dreams I imagine for Tech.mt and for you personally, and I guess for a lot of Maltese businesses and politicians, would be to see a Maltese startup grow and blossom into one of these, what we call unicorns, right? Which are companies that start from nothing and end up scaling into multi-million, multi-billion dollars. Do you think that that's likely for Malta? Are we doing enough to make that happen?
Well, definitely, it's the ultimate dream to have a unicorn, to have your own privately funded company ending up into a multi-billion success. It is possible in Malta to have a very successful business. Then scalability needs to take a different turn when it comes to growing because of our size, because of our geographical location. We cannot compare ourselves to the likes of China or other European countries who have the economies of scale. However, through our trade connections and our local ecosystem, we have enough muscle to start the business here and then help it grow. In fact, we rank as one of the top countries of choice when it comes to SMEs to start their business here in Malta. So when someone within the European Union decides whether to choose Malta or other countries to start their business, Malta is one of the most popular countries that they can choose. We also have a very high success rate when it comes to growth, to SME growth. So when a startup establishes itself here, it then turns out most probably into a 0 to 10 employee company of success. So those numbers show that we do have an ecosystem which allows for SMEs to establish themselves here successfully, for them to grow, and also for a culture of interaction which helps them to feel part of our community. On the other hand, we also do know that there are obstacles and there are issues that everyone encounters, not just.
Konsernek speċjalment fil-Covid, wara l-Covid. Kull pajjiż ħadaqqa anke Malta bl-SMEs li jiġu jew li bdew Malta. X'inhu ma' diffikultajiet forsi taraw li nbidlu li issa qegħdin hemmhekk iktar preżenti minn qatt qabel?
Min-naħa tagħna naħseb li l-Covid Pola għenitna ħafna aktar biex it-teknoloġija tkun embraced u forsi servizzi li joffru kumpaniji fit-teknoloġija aktar jiġu adottati. Jiġifieri mill-lat teknoloġiku naħseb it-teknoloġija meta tara l-istatistiċi hija waħda mis-setturi li esperjenzat growth fi żmien il-Covid.
But then when it comes to Malta's reputational issues, we know that MFSA has done quite a call now to revamp, the way we fight financial crime and other things. Is this creating obstacles for businesses when they come to invest?
In fact, I was going to mention we have to dissect between perception, what businesses feel, because they feel there is added bureaucracy, they feel that there are problems, they feel it difficult, more difficult with the issues we had with our reputation and our battle with good governance lately. And as you're mentioning, MFSA's CEO lately also said that we have to literally shake up our financial services. And I do totally agree. We have to find more innovative ways and also integrate more digital solutions to be able to establish foundations which are now future-proof, because the current foundations are becoming rusted. So yes, I do empathize with the feeling, but what I am here to say is that our ecosystem, our economy, our foundations are already solid enough. Our performance, we have a government who continues to invest in the well-being and in establishing an environment that is startup friendly. And also, we have an economy which is shock-proof, sort of. We are not expecting to have downfalls, thank God, in the coming months. That is what we are seeing also from the EU, that we will be having a stable performance. And also, what we promise as a country, we are delivering now. We are taking, even where we have failed, we are taking things more seriously, and we are promising that we will address our shortcomings.
And I guess when it comes to unicorns in particular, it's research and development, right? R&D that we need to be spending more money on and encouraging more businesses for.
That is something which is part and parcel of a unicorn environment for a startup to experience rapid growth and also to reach certain economies of scale. And although the government invests a lot of money, millions, into research and development, because the government allocates multiple amounts in millions to certain entities so that they can help to experience this growth, we need to see more participation from the private sector. The private sector needs to partner more with the government when it comes to research and development, because if we do not have a culture who spends time and money into thinking and developing new ideas, we will be obviously stagnated into the same frame of mind. Yeah. So it's very important for startups and for growth to have the research and development concept having the necessary investment and the necessary resources and time.
Thank you very much, Dana, and obviously whoever's watching, especially those maybe students who are looking to start a career in tech. The atmosphere is right, there is an appetite for it for the country, so I think it would be a good career choice as well.
Għandkom support kollu li hemm bżonn b'Tech.mt forsi differenza ta' businesses oħra. Proset ta' xogħol tagħkom u jalla naraw din industrija tikber. Sana fit-tmiem tal-programm tagħna, Chris, extended version imma interessanti.
Have a day full of love.
Ciao.